Worksheet number 4, question 4, which is a tech aloud question. Okay, so we have this function f of x, and the function f of x is this. So it's a quartic, and there's a negative there. And we have the function g, which is this particular quartic. I've typed them both on my calculator. Express this in this form. Okay, so if I take that and I factorize it, that gives me the negative x and the x minus 4. So minus x, x minus 4, and then I have this quadratic. Now, this doesn't have a negative, so if I put the negative into here, that would give me x and 4 minus x. Therefore, that's my x, that's a minus x, therefore a equals 4. And this I need to turn into that, which is in turning point form. So I'm going to complete the square. X squared plus 4x, a half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is plus 4, minus 4 plus 16. So it gives me x plus 2 all squared plus 12. And I've turned it into the form that I want. Therefore, b equals 2 and c equals 12, if the question had asked for a, b, and c, but it asked me to put it into that form. 2 marks for that. Okay, so this is the same as this. They deliberately wanted me to know that because in the next question, g of x is transformed to f of x. So this, so what have I got? I've got x, 4 minus x, x plus 2 squared plus 12 turned into that. There's a couple of things that I can notice. I can see that the x plus 2 has become x. And if I go memory initial, okay, and then I go zoom auto, that gives me that. So I might have a little play with what that looks like. Okay, so that's my g of x. If I now look at f of x, I can see I have a reflection happening here. This point moved over to there. I'll double check that it's the same height. So this one, okay, yellow and blue has a height of 120.95. Now we do analysis G solve max and move to the red one. That has a height of 120.95. So I think that we have a reflection over the y-axis and then we have a translation. If I reflect over the y-axis of my blue, my x-coordinates will stay at 0 and become 4, negative 4. These have x-intercepts of negative 2 and negative 6. So after the reflection, we had a translation 2 units to the left. Therefore, reflect over the y-axis, and then we have a translation left 2 units, which would be g reflection over, so negative x plus 2. So if I take this and define it, interactive define, okay, and I take this and I do negative bracket x plus 2 close brackets, and I drag and drop it, it should sit on top of the red curve if these transformations are correct. And it did. It sits directly on top of this curve, which is this curve, and there it is. So these are my 2 transformations. Okay. The next part of the question gives me this. F of x minus d is a translation right d units. Now that's assuming that d is a positive number. So I'm looking about f. F is the black one. So at the moment I've got x-intercepts at negative 6 and -2. Now, how far can I move it so it only has negative x-intercepts? Well, if it moves 2 units to the right, it will have x-intercepts of 0 and -4, and that's no good because one of them is not negative. Only negative x-intercepts, not 0 and -4. And if it's more than 2, then we're going to have a positive x-intercept. So I think D has to be less than 2 for that situation to occur. And at least one positive x-intercept. At least one positive x-intercept. If I move this over 2, I don't have any positive x-intercepts. If I move more than 2, then I will have at least 1, and then if I move more than 6, I'll have 2. At least 1, therefore D is bigger than 2. And lastly, find the value of n corrected 2 decimal places where the equation of this has one solution. So it's g of x. And this is my g of x. That's at 4, that's at 0, and that there is, I think we worked it out before, at 1, analysis g solve max. It is 120.95. Okay, so I am looking for equal to n. So this could be y equals n, and that gives me no solutions. If I'm looking for one solution, then my y equals n has to be there. If I was looking for 2, n could be down there. So for y equals n to have one solution only, this must be n. N must equal 120.95.